satisfied with the Tsar's policy. So they started creating uh, unpopularity for him. He was a despotic ruler and believed on the concept of divine rights. Unlike other European rulers of his time, he was also a despotic ruler, means believing on the divine rights and giving all the privileges by birth to the clergies and the nobles, and he himself was uh, ruling as per his wish, not taking consent from his council of ministers. Children, here you can see these were the three important figures uh, or the personalities. Here you can see he was Rasputin. Rasputin, actually he was the advisor and the friend of Alexandria. Alexandria, actually she was the wife of Tsar Nicholas II. So he belonged to the Germany, and whatever the advice, he was very a monk type person, and always she was under influence of this man, and whatever he was advising to her, she was passing the same advice to Tsar. Means indirectly this person had a lot of interference in Russian's administration. In this way, these were the three important personalities who were responsible for the Russian Revolution, and indirect role played by Rasputin. Now, here the Russian Empire in 1914. When Tsar Nicholas was ruling over Russia, so that time it was included along with Moscow. It was along with Moscow, number of territories were included in Russia, like Finland. You can see, like Finland. You can see here. Then you can see Latvia. Then Lithuania. Then you can see Estonia. Then Ukraine, Poland, parts of Poland, Belarus. So all these were included in Russian Empire. It stretched to the Pacific and comprised today's Central Asian states as well as Georgia. Here you can see Georgia and Armenia. You can see, and another one is Azerbaijan. Here you can see. So all these areas were the part of Russian Empire. In this country, this was the empire, this was the expansion of the Russian Empire during 1914. Here you can despite the liberal revolutions of the 19th century, the Russian Empire continued to be an absolute monarchy. Yes, it was also based on the absolute monarchy, where there was no limitation on Tsar's power. He himself was the law. His words. He himself was the king. He himself was taking all the decisions. Was not consulting with Duma. Duma actually was the parliament of Russia. The Russian absolute monarchy was ruled by the Tsar. Here you can see this flowchart. Concentrated all the power. The Tsar concentrated all the power, and he was supported by. Why he was ruling on absolute monarchy? Because he had the direct support from these people: the nobility, the Orthodox Church, the army, the bureaucracy. All these were under his influence and directly were supporting to Tsar for the absolute monarchy, and that is why the Tsar became so powerful that he was not consulting with Duma or any other minister of council. and taking his own decisions. Here you can now political situation. Civil rights were not recognized in Russia. The people did not have any political rights or civil rights. Political parties faced repression, means all the political parties were declared illegal, and if the person was forming any political party, that party either had to work illegally or was suppressed by the Tsar's troop. There was a parliament called Duma. In Russia, there was a parliament, but this parliament was known as Duma. But this